All right, we're live. Okay, good. Let's open this up and we'll go to GPS coordinates. Okay. Now, this stream, you may actually hear children and animals in the background. I apologize, but they exist. You leaving for Best Buy?
Yes.
Alright, good luck. Love you too. He's getting a new power supply for his PC. Because his PC is broken. Turn my volume down on my phone. Maybe, if it will let me. There we go. Alright. I can't even tell if somebody's watching, so you'll have to let me know in comments if you are. Alright, we're just going to go up this ladder 2 at a time. Okay. Oh, close my helmet. So, the plan for this is just to get GPS coordinates and program the drones. I'm going to start with uranium because we're actually running low on uranium. So, I need the remotes. Remote control 1. So I want remote control 2 for this one because it's higher up. Control / GPS space DS uranium park. Okay. I'm gonna have to lock that back in place and then lift up. And pre-park. And we're just going to call this park approach. I think we're about centered. Okay. Yeah, that'll be good. Alright, now we need remote control 2. Or sorry, remote control 1. And we'll just control that. And, oh, I need to leave the remote that I'm in. Okay. And we're going to call this one we're going to call this the drone drone base approach. There we go. Alright, and the first one we're going for is uranium, so why don't I turn off everything except uranium. And ice mine, of course, so I can find my way back here. I don't need those visible. Oh, nice. Make a nice clean shot for it. This is really all that's really involved with programming drones. You need to fly around and program the points, and then you need to set up the remotes to follow. So now we wait. I mean, we're going at what, 360 kilometers an hour, so moving pretty fast, but you know, still. It's time to turn the dampeners back on. All right. Slow me down good. Okay, we're going to mark this and we're going to uranium mid. Because we want that one to orient us around this asteroid. I want to bring this out a little bit further. Where's the uranium mine at? Oh, my girlfriend's calling. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. And I noticed there was a problem with the drone design. It did not extract any resources. So we're going to pull this apart real quick. And we are going to have to add a pipe with a sorter going up to there. And we're going to do that on both sides. So let's go grab some interior plates and some steel plates, and we'll get that done. Throw this in here. Okay, and 50 should be enough. We need to get rid of this too. Now, we need this one right here. We are going to need a T and an elbow and a sorter, if we can find the sorter here. And that should, once it's set to extract all, pull all of the uranium out of the mine. And we're going to do the exact same thing over here. Okay. And now we will close this back up. And I don't think we want... No. That's just going to have to stick out there. Alright. So now we're going to ride along with it while it does its thing. But first we're going to take it off park. Open up the menu. And all of these are programmed with this prefix. And I don't want that in the search. I want to find the conveyor sorter. And the conveyor sorters are going to have to be stored together. Actually, I don't think I need to do that. I think I'm going to have enough spaces to not have to group those. Alright. So let's go to the remote control 1. And the first GPS point is not going to be any of these. I blueprinted these with those points in there and they no longer exist. So I'm looking for DS uranium. And we want to go to the approach. Add. We want to go to the base drone base approach. Add that one. Yeah. And then we want to go to the mid. Where's the other mid? There it is. And then the mid 2. I hate it when it does that. And then we want to go to the mine approach, mine pre-dock, and the mine dock. Okay. In the pre-approach, the first movement, we want to set the remote control to forward facing forward. Then we want to turn off the connector. Yeah, turn off the connector. And that's it. That's all we want right now for that one. Then it's just going to go through all of the motions. Mine pre-dock. Yeah, the mine pre-dock, we want it to turn the remote on, or turn the connector on, and we want it to change the remote to down. Okay, that should be good. And in the dock, we want it to change the remote to forward. Okay. So I think that's this. Oh, nope. In the dock, we also want it to change this to toggle block on, or drain all on, and drain all on. Actually, I just want this to turn it on. Toggle block on, and toggle block on. So that should turn on both of the sorters at that point. Okay. So now we're going to go to the sorters. We are going to turn them off. We're going to turn drain all on. Now, as soon as it docks and turn those on, it should drain all of the uranium out of the mine. We are not docked currently, so why don't we make sure our battery's full. Okay. So we want the other... No, that's going to be a pain in the ass. We want the other remote. And the other remote is going to bring us back from the mine. So we want it to go directly to the approach. So we're going to add that. Oh, you know what I forgot? On here, on the last one, we also want it to change this one's direction to up. Okay. And the reason for that is because when the second remote starts, we want it to go straight up to the pre-dock location. And then we want it to go to the mine approach. From there, we want it to go to mid 2, then to mid, the drone base approach. And I hate it when it does that. The uranium repark. Oh my gosh. My cat is being stupid. So now we want it to go to the park approach, repark, and park. Okay. So when it gets to the pre-dock, we want it to set the controls to forward. We want it to turn the connector off. Yes, toggle the connector off. And toggle each of these off. Just off. Okay. And then it should go all the way through. And once it gets to the park approach, I want it to change its direction to backwards. That way it will back into the spot. And once it gets to pre-park, I want it to toggle this back on. And set the remote control to down. Okay. And once it gets to park, it should just stop. And none of these should be on control. They should both be on one way. Yeah, so make sure that's on one way, otherwise it's going to keep trying to go. Alright, now the timers. Timer block 1. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it that. Alright, and we are going to set that for 0. And we're going to set up its actions. It's going to unlock and send remote 1 to start. Where is it? Autopilot on. That should be all we need. Okay, and for that one. Actually, I think we might actually need all 4 of these. Timer block 2 is going to be when we get to the location. We're going to set that for 2 seconds. And then we should set up actions. We're going to turn this on just because it's a good idea to make sure it's on here. We are going to toggle to lock, I'm going to go and stick my shoe up my cat's butt. Not really. Jade, can you please see why he's screaming? Okay, so this one we are setting that to lock. That's going to be when it lands on that base, and then it's also going to start timer block 3. Timer block 3 is actually going to tell us when to depart. And we're going to set this one to 20 seconds. We'll adjust the time as needed. Well, for now, we're just going to set it for 1 minute, not 1 hour. One minute. Setup action should dislodge the connector, unlock, and we are going to remote control to turn autopilot on. Okay, so that turns autopilot on. Autopilot should take it from there. That should be good. This one we're going to set this to 2 seconds as well. We are going to turn this on and lock. And make sure these are off, because that will be returned to the base. Okay, so this one, it unlocks, turns on the autopilot. That's good. And then we start going. Then we get to the place, to the mine, and it turns this block on, locks it, and starts the timer to send us home. Timer block 3 unlocks and starts the trip home. Timer block 4, when we get home, turns on the connector, makes sure the connector's on, and locks the connector. It also makes sure that the 2 sorters are off. Okay, this looks good so far. I'm actually happy with this so far. All right, and then the remotes. Remote control 1. It will take us out. Make sure the forward is forward and sends us on our way. Turns off the connector. This one does nothing, this one does nothing, this one does nothing, this one does nothing. This one, actually this one should be turns the connector on, changes the remote's forward control to down. This one does not actually... Okay, this one needs another action. Timer block 2 is dock at the base. So start. So that should, sorry, dock at the mine. So that should dock us at the mine. That should start the whole docking sequence. Remote control 2 should, let's see, it changes the forward direction to forward. Takes us to the mine approach. Takes us through the mids. And, okay. Remote control forward to forward. Toggle connector setup actions. I don't want that to... I want that to be off, not toggle. Turns the conveyor sorters off. Does nothing. Does nothing, does nothing, does nothing. Take this, when it gets to the spot in front of us, changes it to reverse. Reverses us into location, gets us to here. Turns the connectors on. Turn the connector on. And changes the forward direction to down. Brings us down to here. And this one should start timer block 4. Okay. Now let's go ahead and we'll look at the timers again. Just to make sure, sanity check, this should start us going. It just unlocks the connector and starts the remote. Remote control 1, right? Yes. Timer block 2 is once we get there, it turns on the connector just to make sure it's on. Locks the connector and starts timer block 3. Timer block 3 is a 1-minute delay, and it will autopilot on. Okay. So yeah, timer block 3 changes the autopilot to on for 2 and unlocks us. And then timer block 4 should just dock us here. Yes. Okay, so now we park it back up, make sure our batteries are full. I know it says 100%, that's because it was connected with a merge block previously. And so it was getting the power management script messing with it. Stored power 1 megawatt. No, max stored power is 1 megawatt. We are almost at 1 megawatt. We are at 1 megawatt. Okay. So now we are going to try this by first unparking and not remote. We want timer block 1 on the bar, and I want G. And we're going to start it. Okay, so we're going to start timer block 1, and this should... let's save real quick. This should take us out. I am just along for the ride here to see if this works. I hope I didn't do anything wrong or we're going to go up in flames. What speed limit do I have for these remotes? I forget what I set them for. 30. I think I'm going to try maxing out the speed limit on both of them. I think that should be okay. I have lots of oxygen, so I can eat some food here. This is why we have the oxygen tank on here, though, just so that we can actually be sitting in here and eat food and make sure our batteries are full and everything. And this will take a minute. What worries me is when you're using a remote, it does manage the speed. You can see that down in the lower left, right-hand corner of the screen. You can see the power usage is much, much lower here. Or sorry, the amount of time I have is much, much lower than when I was actually flying it, because it's actively using all of the thrusters now. So my concern is that I might actually have to add another battery. I'm hoping I don't, though. Such a pain in the butt. I'm not even sure which one of them I'm talking about right now. The cat or the dog? Or the other cat that's sitting there. Surprised he's not starting a fight. So this is the excitement of setting up a drone. It's flight. And then testing. Yeah. Just looking at the thrusters in the back, that they are right next, just outside of each other's blast zone. So they're not actually getting damaged, even though it looks like they are. Solo. Winter, I wish you weren't deaf so you could hear me yelling at you. Two male cats. One of them is adolescent. Thank you for managing that. I'm waiting for the day that he starts a fight with Wolf and gets his butt kicked. He might learn then. So, yeah, I can see that these batteries are actually going to be pushed to their limit right now. So, the only hope I really have is that these will be able to suck some power from each of the mines. Yeah, I left the ham out because Cody was going to cook himself some food, and then he just left for Best Buy. So far, everything's going as planned. I mean, this isn't my first time setting up a drone, but, you know, Mistakes are always possible. And Lord knows I've made a fair few of them in my life. So, I'm going to have to update the drone and this might present a problem. I may not have given this enough space to actually reorient before trying to dock. Let's see. Nope, I did not. Crap. And we are going to stop this one. Okay, so we are in remote control 1. Need to park. And we need this one to be... make it 15 meters away. Ten should be enough, actually. So we're going to go with 10 meters, 12 meters. Okay. Let's see if we can update this GPS here. Okay, and this is the mine pre-dock. Control C. And we are going to create a new... No, delete that. New from current position. 2. Okay. Or you can just spray whipped cream. Well, of course it did. That's loud as crap. Okay, so let's come in here and we're going to go to our remotes again. And pre-dock. We need pre-dock 2 now. And we need to add that. Move up. And we need to set it to do the same things it did before. So we need to set it to turn the connector on and set the remote control forward direction to down. Turn this on and set the remote control forward direction to down. Okay. And now we will turn off the pre-dock. Okay. And remote control 2. The pre-dock. I don't think we're using the pre-dock. Oh, we are. We're using the pre-dock. Okay, so now we need to add pre-dock 2. Move it up. And okay. Remote control direction to forward. Connector off. Sorters off. Okay, so remote control to direction to forward. Off and off. Okay, so now we're just going to bring this back down. We're going to dock up. The sorters should be on. So it is actually pulling uranium. So if we go just to the ship and we do uranium. Okay. The uranium is actually building up in the ship. That's good. That's good. Okay. So now we're going to try the return flight, which I'm pretty sure is going to fail on us, if I'm being honest. Because I don't think I have enough space for it to reorient itself. Which might cause us an issue. Where's the timer at? Timer block 2 was to dock us. Timer block 3 should be to leave. Yes. So timer block 3, we are going to trigger it now. I forgot to turn off the pre-dock location. Oh well. We'll take care of that now. Alright, that's taking us to mid 2. Or sorry, to mid. This is good. This is good. It will get us back to the base. I don't think it'll get us docked up properly. And I think what I'm going to have to do is actually add an orientation mark at the approach to the entrance, so that all the drones will come into the base oriented the proper way. For this one, the answer for power management problems is real simple, because it's going and picking up uranium. So I can always have it just use the uranium it's transporting. That shouldn't be an issue. However, I'm not sure I actually want to put uranium reactors on any of them, because I can't have uranium reactors as a primary fuel source for any of them. For all of them, I mean. Make sure that it's actually turned off the sorters. Okay, yeah, those are off. Let's check and see where the uranium's at. Well, that's a problem, because that means it's actually... Oh, no, it should be fine. It should actually be able to pull out of there, so we'll see. We'll see what happens when we get docked up back at the base. Hey Cody, what's up? CX750 from Corsair? Semi-modular. I mean, it's not the best, but it should be good enough, and the cords look like they're way long enough to actually be able to hook your motherboard up. You only 60? That's a good upgrade from not having a computer, so you're just happy because you're going to be able to get your computer running. Alright, so when we get this back here, first we'll see if it docks. If it actually docks up, then nothing is needed. If it doesn't dock up, then we have to do something about the orientation. And it's probably not going to dock up. I'm hopeful, but I don't think it's going to work right. This one might just work. Or it could do damage. If it does damage, then I guess I'm just going to have to do repairs. But no, it looks like it might just work. Just. Nope. There we go. Alright, yeah, I'm going to have to do some adjusting to get it to work properly. Which is fine. We'll connect that up, and we're going to look at just this ship's inventory, and the uranium was taken. Awesome. That is exactly what I wanted to have happen. So, alright, it's empty now. Let's go ahead and we're going to remote control 2. And we are going to control? Oh, remote control 2. Control. We're going to come out here and we're going to get as close to this marker as we possibly can. I want it to be 0 if possible. Okay, I think that's as close as I'm going to get. Now we want the orientation to be correct, which I think we're there. Now we're going to come up. We're going to come up probably 15 meters. Okay. Drone base approach. And we're going to call this pre-approach. Okay. Now we are going to come to the remote control 2. And we are going to add the pre-approach that we just put in there. Base approach, base pre-approach. Add base pre-approach should go just above base approach. And at the pre-approach, we wanted to set the remote control 2 to forward facing down. That will orient us properly. And then at base approach, we wanted to set the forward facing direction to forward. Okay, that should be all we need. So this should be a completely functioning autonomous drone now. Okay, so we're gonna park this up, check on our batteries, see where they're actually at. Fully recharged in 4 minutes. Recharge. So that should just automatically recharge. That should have cut the time down. Nope. It didn't. Alright. I guess we're just going to wing it because I don't want to wait. Okay, that was kind of a weird view. Get out of the remote and hit 9. What? Why is that not working? Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll change the actions on timer block 1 to also turn this off. And we will turn autopilot off. Park it up. Now we'll hit timer block 1 again. There we go. Gets us right out here to this marker. And now we have another flight. Yes, it's okay if you take my car to go to work real quick. The pains of being the manager, you have to take care of stuff. You can grab a cigarette on the way too. Not that I like that he smokes, but well, I'd be a hypocrite. Speaking of which, I'm going to take my phone out. I can watch the stream, see how badly things fail. And so I'll be right back. We're getting close, so I'm back. And I really should get some music going. So far, so good. This should be heading to Dock 2. Is it heading to Dock 2? Or pre-Dock 2? No, it's heading to approach. Which should get us lined up straight. Pre-Dock 2. And then orient us to the... Well, it's not really straight, but it works. Now let's see if it docks up. A little rough, but it works. Alright. So this is working. Let's check the inventory. Is it picking up more uranium? Not much. But I'm okay with not much. Okay. Timer block 3 is counting down. And we're just going to trigger it now. Takes us straight up to pre-dock 2. Then to approach. Then to mid 2. Nice. Alright. I'm going to go finish that cigarette. Well, this looks good. Seems to be orienting us mostly correct. Let's see how this works out. I may have to do the orienting closer to 0. Oh, the angle's better. It works. It works. Unfortunately, I don't have enough space, I don't think, to be able to move it up for that 15 meters here. Not without running into the ceiling. Because that would be ideal. I think I'm going to be happy with that, though. It worked. It ran through. I don't know what else I can ask for. Alright, so now that we know we have uranium in the system, yeah, the large reactor actually did not... Oh, my small grid ship is still set to stockpile. I need to go turn that off. Otherwise my base will run out of uranium. I need to get some lighting down here on the docking bay. Oh, didn't mean to jump there. Yeah, small grid, small ship. Refueling, stockpiling. Let's turn stockpile off. Alright. Now, we should see uranium starting to go throughout the base. Okay. Yeah, it's stockpiling in the small reactors too, which is fine. That's not a huge problem. I don't mind just leaving those running and having them pull uranium. The large reactor will take the bulk of it. So now that stockpile is off, we can go finish what we were doing. Or not finish, but move on to the next. Because that's the uranium one done. This takes a minute because it's trying to pump all of the oxygen out of this room and the oxygen tanks are full. Why am I running? It's quicker to just fly up through the cave here. Alright, so we've got the uranium done. And that is all programmed. So let's come in here and we're going to go to GPS and we're going to turn off the uranium. We're going to turn off the... We're going to leave the base approach on. We don't need any of the uranium markers though. In fact, I may go through and delete those now that they're in the ship. Okay, and this one is platinum. Platinum is always needed. Okay. Remote control 2. Active. Park. And I'm just seeing my ship, right? Yep. So let's see. We want uranium. Okay. So this will be the platinum park. Okay. Okay, let's change our view to outside the cockpit. It is 2.5 meters. I think that's about as high up as I can go. So we'll go ahead and we'll call this park approach. Approach. Now we want to be somewhat towards the middle of the aisle here. Okay, and reapproach. Alright, and then we've got the base all set up already. The base approach. So now we've just got to fly to the platinum mine. And I got to turn on the platinum mine GPS. So DS platinum should be displaying now. Well, the platinum mine's not nearly as far away. That's good. And we're looking for the base pre-approach. And we just flew right through it. Now I want to be close to dead nuts on point here so that I can plan to... Oh, I guess it doesn't matter. We're actually pretty well and good out of view, so... What worries me more is the orientation of the sun not being able to see an asteroid. So we're just going to save real quick in case I run into an asteroid. Trying to avoid running into an asteroid, that's why I'm going so wide. Wish me luck finding the platinum mine. Alright. Alright, and we are going to go back into the cockpit real quick here so we can actually find it. Ah, it's right there. It actually works out really nice. Is it right there? Where is it? Where's the actual mine at? Okay, we're going to call this the midpoint, because that should be a clear shot to... Yeah, that's a clear shot, so we're going to make this mid. All right. Now we're going to come down here, and my plan was originally to feed these uranium. That's not going to happen. So now I just need to park it right up here on top of this, the outlet for this station. But yeah, since I don't need to finish, give these things uranium, I'm not going to. Okay, we are in remote 1, and this will be Platinum Mine Park. And we're gonna lock up to it. And hopefully we're not actually pulling any platinum out yet. We're not. Oh, I don't think I've added the conveyor sorters to this yet either. Okay. Park. We need to go up at least 15 kilometers, 15 meters. Well, at least 10. I'm thinking we're going to go 12 again. Mine approach. Oh, that was bad. I hit the wrong button. Let's go back it back down here. Because I need my orientation to be right. Okay, let's get it back down to 0 or as close to it as we can. I think that's as close as we're going to get. Back it back out. And we're going to bring it out here so we know we're missing the solar panel. And we're going to call this pre-approach. Alright, so this much is done. Now we should be able to head back to the base. I'm thinking we might actually skip the midpoint. I don't think we need it. I was going too fast. All right. Now, before we dock it up, we'll make the quick, simple changes to it. Okay. Add the T in here. Sorter. And the elbow. Do the same thing on the other side. And I should have just filled those in while I was sanding there. Well, floating there. Alright. So, the elbow. T. And the sorter. Okay. That's all done. We're just going to steal this prefix real quick. The problem with backing up one of these things. There we go. Now we're ready to lock. Turn it slightly. Park. All right, inventory. Drink. Drink sounds good. Coffee is delicious. All right. I need to undock. All right. So, let's go down to the remotes. Remote 1. Remove, remove, remove. Okay, we're starting at Platinum Park. We want to go to the Platinum. We want to go to the Platinum pre-approach first, and then to the base approach. Drone base approach. Where's the drone base approach? I wish there was a filter. Drone base approach. Add. And we're just going to add the drone base pre-approach as well, just for safety's sake. Add. And then we're at the Platinum mine pre-approach. Add the platinum mine approach. Platinum park. All right, controller 2. Leaving the base, or leaving the mine, we want it to go to the platinum mine approach, platinum mine pre-approach. We want it to go to the base pre-approach, base approach, platinum park pre-approach, platinum park approach, platinum park. Okay, so when we leave, we want it to go to Platinum Park Approach, and at Platinum Park Approach, it should change remote control 1 to forward. And make sure this is off. Okay. Base approach, pre-approach, shouldn't be doing anything here. Pre-approach, it should change this remote direction to down. No, it should stay forward. The pre-approach shouldn't do anything yet. The approach should change this remote control to down. And then change... yeah, change that remote control to down. And turn this on. Platinum Park should, again, make sure this is on. And start timer block 2. As well as change remote control 2. Now, remote control 2 will be set by, well, we can have this set at 2. Forward direction to up. Okay. All right, so forward direction forward. Forward direction down. Forward direction up for when it leaves. Remote control 2. Once it hits approach, it should change forward direction to forward. And turn this off. And that should be it. Pre-approach, do nothing. Base pre-approach should change the orientation to down. And that should be all it does there. The base approach should change the direction to forward. Park pre-approach should change the direction to backwards. Park approach should change the direction to down. And then park should change this direction to forward. And start timer block 4. Timer block 3 is going to be triggered by timer block 1. Or sorry, timer block 2. Timer block 1 starts remote 1. Remote 1 goes through, starts timer block 2. Timer block 2 starts timer block 3, which starts this, which then does this. Okay, so that's good. That should be good to go, and we also want this to be toggle block on. Okay. Timer block 1. Set that for almost no time. Set up actions. Turn this to unlock. Turn it off. And then I believe we just want it to start autopilot on remote 1. And set the remote 1 to forward. Just because it's best to try and do that. Timer block 2. We're going to set that for 2 seconds. Set up actions. That is going to toggle this block on, toggle this block on, toggle this block on, and also lock this block. And then start timer block 3. Okay. Timer block 3. We are going to set that for 1 minute again. Although I think, actually, we're going to set that to, no, we'll leave it 1 minute. Yeah, 30 seconds. Okay, and at the end of 30 seconds, it will disconnect. Toggle block off. Toggle block off. Toggle block off. Start remote control 1. Autopilot on. I do believe that's correct. Timer block 4. We'll make sure these are off. And make sure this is on. And lock. And we will change remote control 1 to forward. Being forward. And forward being forward. Just to make sure it's all reset. Okay. Now let's go back up to the remote control blocks. Where are they? There we go. So on the way out, it's going to, when it gets to the first spot, change the forward direction to forward. And turn off the connector. Do nothing, do nothing. Okay. Forward direction to down. Turn on the connector. Connector on. Timer block 2 start. Remote control forward direction set to up. That should be remote control 2. Remote control 2. Forward direction to up. Okay. And it also is starting timer block 2. So that's good. This one is turning remote control to forward and turning the connector off. Setting the remote control to forward. Why do I have it setting the forward direction to down? Okay, because yeah, that's going to orient us down. Then it changes it to forward. And then it backs it into the spot. And then it drops it down onto the connector. And then it changes the forward direction. Starts timer block 4. And turns on the connector. And I think I'm going to have it also set the other remote control. No, I think that's good. I think that is good. We're going to try it. I think we're all set. So we're going to park it. My helmet's open. Okay, we're parked. Now we are going to go with timer G. Park. G. Timer block 1. Start. And we're going to park again. Now we'll hit this. And we'll try it. Okay, pulls us straight out. Takes us to base approach. Yeah, I'm glad we went to base approach, and that is getting close to that little outcrop of stone. Pre-approach. Really don't need pre-approach in there. And we are going to hit save real quick. Oh, my speed limit is 30. Ah. Why did I leave my speed limit at 30? Alright, now we can actually speed up. Yeah, setting up drones is not a fast process. But I'm not going to have to make this flight again. So for me, it just seems like it's time well spent. Make sure I'm actually not in a... No, I'm not in a remote, so I can just let it run. This should be heading for the pre-approach, because we're skipping the mid. Now, because the remotes are actually storing the waypoints as GPS coordinates, I can probably get away with actually deleting those GPS markers from my GPS screen. And I think I'm going to try and do that. Man. That's kind of freaky. I'm getting awfully close to that block, to that rock. Hurt myself there. Oh, nice. Locked up. Inventory. Oh, good. It's pulling platinum. Let's check and see if it's... Yeah, it's pulling all the platinum. That makes me happy. Alright, and we're almost done. It should take us back to the base now. And my son's standing here tapping his toes, so... I'm going to mute myself and I'll be right back. Alright, so if this works out, which I think it's going to, I think I'm going to have to drop off of here and go give my son a hand working on his computer. And this is just... It's scary because I'm not in control and I don't like getting this close to the stone while not being in control. Ooh, this might be bad. Yeah, I may have to do more for the orientation on this one. Yeah, I'm going to have to put another mark. Well, maybe not. Nice. Actually, looks like it might work well. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Remote. Is it set for patrol? It is. Damn it. One way. Autopilot off. Autopilot on. No, let's just go ahead and we'll just turn autopilot off. Okay, we're going to go to autopilot off. It is off. It is set for one way now. We're going to go to remote control 1. We're going to go to timer block 1 and we're going to hit start. And now it's going to take us back to the mine one more time. I think we have enough battery power to do that, and this will be the easiest way to get everything reset properly. Don't make that mistake. Don't leave it on patrol. Where's it taking me now? What the heck is going on here? This could be bad. This could be very bad. Oh, you stupid. Okay. When it comes back, we'll replace that thruster that we just lost. Okay. There we go. This is the joy of setting up drones. Sometimes they don't act the way you think they're going to. I thought that it would pick up in the last, go to the nearest location in the run, because sometimes it does that. I think that might only do that when it's set in patrol, though. And I don't have it set in patrol. So, yeah, there we go. Well, thankfully it's only one thruster. That could have been far worse. We didn't even lose any lights. Well, we're at least definitely going to get rid of that mid marker there. Right, now it should connect up. And timer block 3 is the one that's running, so we're just going to say trigger now. What is it doing? It didn't go up. Okay, so I have a little bit more to change on that. There, reorient. And we will change these actions since we now know that it's doing something different. Rather than up, we'll set it to forward. Because I made a mistake. Okay, so let's see how much more damage I can do to this little drone. Hopefully none. Hopefully it works this time. Then we'll do one more test run. And then down. And then in. Orient yourself around. This is good. This works. And then it should lock up. Did I not set the timer block 4 to a good time? Yes, I did. Must still be set for... I can type. It's still set for 10 seconds. We want that to be set for 2. Okay. Now, before we set off the timer, let's replace the thruster here. Do I have those on my bar? I don't think I do. Apparently I can't type. Okay. Alright, so MD plat, Control C, and I have an ion thruster that's floating around here with the wrong name. It is thruster 41 apparently. I don't have 41 thrusters on here. Alright. And now we are going to start timer block 1 again. Cross my fingers and hope this does not break anything else. I'm glad that I saved previously. Matter of fact, I think I have all of the bugs ironed out, so I'm going to save. Going to the base approach. Platinum. All right. Last run. And this time I'm not touching nothing other than checking the inventory. Actually, I'll check the inventory now. Yes, all the platinum was sucked out of it. That's good. we're going to move all of this stuff that we can to the connector. I don't think we can move this, no. The only thing we have connecting this to the inventory is the small conveyor tubes. Apparently my engineer needs to sleep too. Well, no, he's about 52. He's good. Got a while before I got to worry about it. Okay, the only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trigger the timer block. Okay. That's definitely working better. So far, not so painful. I crashed my ship. No, I got really lucky though. The remote control ran me into the side of the rock, but all it did was crush one thruster and a couple of blocks, but it didn't destroy those blocks. So the Bob just fixed those right back up. All I had to do was replace the thruster. Yeah. So, brought mail in. I didn't figure it was mine. You don't have my mail key. I'm still streaming, by the way. Well, it's nobody's chatting, nobody's watching, so it's not a big deal. Just whatever we say is going to be recorded for all time. Well, don't say anything that'll get you fired from a future job. Yeah, you make no promises, I get it. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. No, I bought them. It's fine. They're a couple weeks old. They should be fine, though. I mean, they're Hostess brownies. Oh, perfect. Locked me right in. It's all set now. That is awesome. Great. Now let's check the inventory. The inventory should be... Did I forget to turn the sorter off? Why has it not pulled that out yet? Am I connected? I am. Alright, well, the platinum should get drained out soon enough. Alright, I am mostly happy with that, and we got 2 of them done. I still have to do the gold and silver, cobalt and magnesium. I'm not worried about doing these. I'm not going to do these 3 at all. We're sitting on a mine that produces iron, nickel, and silicon all day, all night, all the time. So, not worried about those. But I do have to hop off of here and help my son with his PC. So, thank you for joining me, and